Hello everyone, and welcome back to the Jannu tribe here in niche version 0.2.1. And we're going to be very busy today, so if you need a quick catch up on what all of the different members of our tribe are up to and what all of our different goals for the Jannu tribe are, I highly recommend watching yesterday's video, because today we have a couple very heavily pregnant little ladies who are ready to make their way back to the Lost Peninsula and give birth to the rogue's children. So yes, the Lost Peninsula is kind of our mysterious long-lost relative outcast group where we send all of the black sheep, aka all of those born from the wandering rogue males that we have who kind of leave their usually undesirable genetics in with our females. And so Racina, who was born from a different rogue male as her father, and Ravari, who was also born from the same father, so they're half-sisters, are both now pregnant with Midnight the Rogue's children, and we want to see what his children, with his spit snout, and I think he has blonde mane too, so that's kind of interesting. We want to see what his children are going to look like once they are born. So we're going to send the ladies over to the nest as soon as possible. I think Midnight himself is actually rustling around inside this bush, but that may be a bunny. That's either Midnight or a bunny, but we're going to leave Midnight alone for as long as we can, which does mean that we need to defend our females who are not currently pregnant. So I need to keep a good eye on Mido. She's watching over her daughters right now, which also includes Mirami, or Mirami. Mirami is hopefully going to be one of our future orcas, or one of our little mermaid groups, by providing lots and lots of babies who can have underwater breathing and swimming ability. So even though Mido was really hoping for more children to carry on the beautiful antlers and be able to focus on settling the forest for the first time and becoming primarily berry and nut gatherers, she seems to be popping out a lot of children who are really good at swimming. So little Mirami, there we go, is going to be headed over, and she is actually going to have a mate in Kukima in the future too. And we also have Llama, who I'm going to be sending over to the nest ASAP so that we can try to get more of our water-breathing creatures, several of whom, by the way, have finally found where the fish are. I feel so silly that it took me this long to realize you really have to go in the deep water in order to do some good fishing. And you'd usually want to send a whole group of your creatures out, kind of the way that orcas and dolphins will actually go fishing, by surrounding a school of fish and herding them together, schooling the fish together so that they can pluck off the fish instead of letting the fish just like zip away. So I'm finally starting to figure out how to actually do proper fishing, just in time for the jungle biome update that is going to be happening any minute now. And then of course we also have our prickly hedgehogs. Just on kind of a whim, I'm trying to get the prickle body sort of out of the main body of our genetics, and so all of our hedgehog-like creatures, including Vanvanku, who is actually pretty darn amazing because he has these black antlers. I mean, look at him. Isn't he so cool? He's got the black antlers, he's got this beautiful blonde mane, and even his hedgehog spikes look really, they just look really fitting. So maybe he'll be able to settle up to the north. They're going to actually go around the long way to the beaches. Maybe our hedgehog creatures will end up finding like this tide pool area right next to the Lost Peninsula, or maybe they'll find a nest over here that's just perfect for them. And we can start having our prickly hedgehogs, maybe even get Digger Paw and turn this into a abundant area of root resources. So all the hedgehogs are headed up north. Our water creatures are headed back to the waterfall nest, and I think I may even send Corey up north too, so we'll have to see what we do with her. And then finally we have several eligible, but if not completely perfect, heiresses for the special tide pool, which is Ila, as actually she is the seer of the tide pool right now. And I really love all of the amazing ideas you guys had for how the seers of the tide pool will actually collect the different clamshells, and they'll like study how many legs the crabbits have, and they'll look at the way the seaweed lays on the beach to try to sort of see what sort of oracles they need to pull from and how they can help the tribe by going, this clamshell was purple, but half of it was also black. That means we should avoid the deep waters. Kind of the way people would like throw dice made out of turtle shell or things like that to try to guide their family groups. And it seems really silly to a lot of us now, but when the whole world felt like everything was so unpredictable in so many ways, I could see where a lot of that superstition and that lore would start from. And that is the responsibility of what the Seer of the Tide Pool does. It studies the seaweed, studies the crabbits, studies the clamshells, studies the coral that washes up on the beach, and tries to determine what the tribe should do. And right now, the current seer is Isila, and she's really hoping to have a daughter who will have the ability to do cracking, because you need to be able to open up the clamshells, who will have the red antlers, which are like the respective coral antlers, and who will hopefully be able to do a little bit of collecting and other things too. But if that fails, we do have Corey somewhere. There she is. Corey is actually, or Dado, not Corey. I don't know why I called her Corey. But Dado is actually expecting right now, and Dado or Lamila can actually take their mother's place if nobody is born who also fits like the I think like Lamila would probably be the most likely to inherit that position, except she doesn't have cracking. So really, unless you have to be able to crack open the clamshells, but you know, the problem with Dado is that she has the ram horns and not the antlers, and I think they kind of look at that a little bit sideways. And she also has the panda pattern instead of the no pattern body, and the no pattern body is considered the most attractive and beautiful on this branch of the Jannu tribe. Sorry, little spotty one. All right, so now that that is all sorted, let's first things first get Ravanta out of the deep water where I accidentally left him. I'm so sorry, Ravanta. Here, pop on out and take a deep breath. And do you need, we can't do any healing or anything with them. I was hoping I'd be able to attack that crabbit, darn it. So Ravanta is going to pop out, and I'm going to have him do a little bit of exploring. It's a bunny burrow, wonderful. We can get some food that way. And Isila is going to just kind of stay over here. She may start moving back towards the mother's roost, the little mother's peninsula, just because we have a lot of pregnant bellies fighting over one nest over here. So let's move Corey this direction. Corey's a very slow mover because she's a hedgehog. So actually maybe moving her far up north is not a bad idea. And then, oh, look, there's another clamshell. And Isila needs to be careful not to go into the too deep of water because I don't want her to end up drowning. That would be very bad. I think that would be an extremely bad omen if the Seri of the Tide Pool ended up drowning. I really think that's a bad omen. All right, and then let's go ahead and get our pregnant girls all lined up so that they can be nice and comfortable. So Racina is going to settle into this nest, and her sister Ravari, who has cracking ability, I'm going to go ahead and let her just kind of jump around. I'm making her jump around looking for clams. That's what I'm doing right now. I'm so excited. Maybe they'll be able to have more than one child. Like, we can have the babies born, and then we can go look for Midnight again in case he's like hiding around here somewhere. All right, and let's make some room. We'll move little Lilila. Oh, Lilila. Oh my gosh, I love that name. I'm going to move her mom, Mito, over one, and then I'm going to move her over, and then Mito is going to go ahead and collect up some of those. And Mirami, she is, I mean, technically I could see how they would want her to possibly inherit the Seri of the Tide Pool position, because she does have cracking and no pattern, but she doesn't have the antlers, and I just feel like the red antlers are actually, or the red ram horns, we may end up having these two duke it out for the like inherited position. But having the red antlers or the red ram horns are definitely, I think, a prerequisite. So I'm sorry, Mirami. All right, and actually, you know, that's just the way things go when different tribes and different groups start focusing more on those superficial things like appearances, when they don't have to worry about survival quite as intensely anymore. And we'll have Rasimi examine the grass suspiciously around her. Oh, and her aunt passed away of old age today. Oh, that's so sad. Her aunt, Miss Miri, who's going to be gone off of the family tree because she didn't have any children to leave behind. But her aunt actually was showing her how to like search the grasses and defend the tribe, because Rasimi here actually has one of the strongest abilities right now, strength level 5, which some of you guys have been telling me how your creatures are like strength level 12. I'm so envious. We'll get there eventually. So now she's kind of inherited this idea that she needs to help defend the tribe, and she doesn't have the cracking ability, so she can't be the Seri of the Tide Pool now that we know they have to crack open those shells. Alright, let's gather up all of these nuts. I actually need another cracking ability child, like Lalila over here, to help me gather up all the nuts around this tree. Now that we're focusing on gathering up those nuts, we're starting to get so much more food. It's really wonderful. Alright, and then let's get pregnant Dado. It's gonna be a little tricky all the way up into that nest. There were a lot of rocks in the way, so that wasn't a faster move. And then we'll have Rodukduk go ahead and explore this area to try to clear it up and make it safe. And Lamila can go ahead and collect up all those berries. Alright, alright. What do we have over here? We'll have... oh, let's check the fish. What I should be doing is checking the fish. There's some fish down here and some fish up here. Can I chase the fish over? Ah, you can't fish, Rokunu! That's a waste. That's such a waste. Rokunu, get down here then. And help to chase the fish over to those of them who can do the fishing. Look at all those fish. They're so hard to see. They're just the tiniest little dots. Oh my gosh, they're really hard to see. But I see there's a whole bunch of fish down here. If I can just get my good fishers over here, then there are a few fish to collect. I wonder, like, depending on the fishing ability, do you get more fish, like, per turn? Can you just be able to swipe, say, 4 fish at once? There's 1, 2, 3, 4 fish in this school. 1 fish right here and 2 fish over here. So we'll have to do some experiments with fishing ability, but I'm about to lose all of my deep sea fishers. Rokunu, you already had underwater breathing ability. You weren't supposed to grab that plant. That's funny. So now he's got underwater breathing ability 4, but I think you only need to have underwater breathing ability 1 for them to be totally fine underwater all the time. And then over here, Nukuvan is just spending his time slowly but surely, aha, clamshell, searching around for clamshells. And Izana can focus on gathering up berries, but we'll probably have her move up to, she's very beautiful. She actually could technically be the next Seri the Tadpole, really. She has almost everything, but she has ram horns instead of antlers. And I wonder if that would be considered like a little bit of trouble. We'll just have to see how it goes. But actually, Izana probably would be the best one to inherit that spot, because she can actually crack open clams. So we'll send her up to help out with gathering up the nuts in a little bit too. Alright, so who next? We've got our little piles of food over here. That was a bunny that we got last time. And then Simi cannot see very far, so I'll let Nukir go on ahead first. And then Simi can go... oh, we found a berry bush, yay! After all this time, we're still finding like a whole bunch of different aspects of our island. And then Mamila, should I have you have a child? Like, ooh, she's got immunity D. I don't think I have much immunity D left. Mamila, get over here. You've got to come over and meet Vivanku. And oh, you're gonna die if I do that. Dang it. Yeah, we won't have enough time, I don't think. Darn. Maybe Kukima? Kukima, can you come over here and like, maybe we can try to have her become pregnant and then scooch her into the nest before she passes away. I do like Mamila, so I would love her to have a child. And she's been exploring quietly along this waterway. She's been studying the ways of the koi fish for a long time. And Kukima was basically born to hunt koi fish. So whoa! So hopefully that'll help out. Maybe she has some good advice to offer him on how to hunt koi fish. And otherwise, let's see, let's come over here. Llama, no, you have immunity D too. Why am I finding this out like so late? I should have been breeding you guys. There's no time. There's no time. I don't think I'll be able to get it done in time. All right, and then Sikora is our little hedgehog, just very busy clearing grasses. Well, I say very busy, but she doesn't exactly move at the speed of light, so just kind of slowly moving grasses. And then let's go ahead and see what our lost ladies of the Lost Peninsula are going to end up having for their babies, because I'm very curious what Midnight's children are going to look like. Alright, come along, my loves. Oh, he's actually kind of cute! I like him! He's a little spit snout, Roku. He's got I and C immunity, which are actually really uncommon in our tribe. So ironically, we could do with a bit of those. But he does have the hemophilia, which I'm very leery of. And he does have short-sighted eyes. So he has got the kind of like the blonde mane. He's got antlers secondary. And otherwise, He has a teeny bit of strength and he can swim, but he can't really feed himself because he's got double no paw. You poor child. So we'll go ahead and let him rest right there. And then let me go ahead. Any clamshells? There's a leech. We want to avoid the leech, but there's a clamshell. All right, so we can get some food from over there in a minute. Mom is going to stay in the nest because usually the bluebirds are always lurking to try to make sure that any potential babies could be snatched. But we haven't lost a single baby so far. You're so cute. Oh my gosh. 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 You're a beautiful dark panda. Look at this one. Yeah, I think Dado has other things to do than lead the seer line. Or maybe the seer line is drastically altering Anasiko. Wow, she's got cracking ability, venomous fangs, a little bit of strength, good collecting. She's like a dark panda. She's got the gray fur and black eyes, and she's just so beautiful. I need a really special name for her. Let's see, Dado is her mother. I guess she could be one of the doe line. Dado, and then we've got, let's see, Nido, like night or dusk. We already had dusk. We already have midnight running around, one of our rogue males. She's just so pretty. She reminds me of like a black diamond, or what are some, like beryl? Or I don't think jasper. Tourmaline. I'm like trying to think of all of these rocks. She's just so pretty. She is like a little dark panda. Let me think. Man, she's so different from everybody. What am I going to do with her? But she is like a we have Dado, and now we're gonna have Dido, which sounds a little confusing, but it's for like black diamond. She is quite stunning. Wow, she is pretty. I have no idea what we're going to do with her. I think she's going to be like the dark forest pandas. And I mean, she's good at collecting and she can defend herself and move quickly. I think, man, this is what I wish I could make my jungle creatures look like. Yes, you're beautiful. I am so in love with you. And we just unlocked something too. I think, oh, because we mutated the black eyes. So now we can have brown eyes to start unlocking more of the different genetics. Oh, and we mutated the gray fur. That's what happened. I gotcha. All right, I'm going to add gray fur into that. And then eventually I need to add the beak back in. But that's amazing. That is exactly what I wish the dark pandas. Maybe I should do like Dida? So it's like panda instead. Dida. Let's try Dida. Dida? There we go. Dida. And so we'll start switching to pandas. So this is like beginning a panda line. I love it. This is so cool. Definitely different than the seers though. So I think that this birth has made Dido realize that she wants to take a different route with her daughter than she originally thought. She's not going to inherit her mom's position as the seer. She's going to do something different. Also, who was your father? No, Neuro, why did you pass away? Neuro, why? You didn't even leave behind a son that looked like you. You had wonderful genetics and an amazing daughter. If only, if only. Oh, I need to find another male that I can breed with Dido. No, not you, Roku. Definitely not Roku. Let's see. There's a whole bunch. Kima, Dido, too similar. I need to get some of those. I haven't been paying enough attention to some of our genetics. And I need to start seeing, say, like the immunity D needs to start spreading through some of our creatures. Yeah, I need to start sorting the genetics pretty soon. We're about to start losing some of them. Corey might have to have some children. She has immunity C, and ironically Roku here. We may have to breed him in just because he's got some really useful immunities, and then hopefully maybe I'll end up having Dida have to breed with him because he's got that cool immunity, but I'm gonna really think about that. That's when I'm a little more desperate. All right, so I need to find a good male. Dido, who can I have you have another baby with? Not Roduku. Duke, because you guys actually have the same genetics. But what about Rovanta? Rovanta is pretty closely related, but unfortunately he's one of my best bets. So I'll move him up there in just a second. I need somebody to come. Hey, Corey, can you come and She'll collect that. She'll eventually get there and eventually be able to collect this crabbit. But I think we just lost Daida's father right here. He just passed away. Darn it. All right, let's zip up here and I'll have Ravanta. I'll have him scooch up here and gather up some berries. And then I'll have Dido come over and scooch just a bit and mate with him. And then let's go ahead and... Bunny moved. I was hoping that bunny wouldn't move, but it's out of here. Alright, and we'll clear those up. Gather up these berries and pop over here and gather up those berries. And Corey, you didn't even have to battle that crabbit. It gave it up. It gave up the ghost before you even got there. And let's get Isila, the current... Oh, where'd her clamshells go? She was supposed to have some clamshells to eat. Darn it. They already vanished. Oh, geez. But we've had more pop up over here. So the clamshells will apparently disappear after a while. So I'm going to have to remember that. And we'll have Isana, who could almost inherit her mother's position. Oh, no. She's got short-sighted eyes. Darn, that is not something I want to pass on. A short-sighted seer just sounds like a very bad idea, doesn't it? So I need to be a little careful about that. Alright, and then I did have some desperate breeding I needed to do over here. So let me actually switch Nimble Fingers out. What do I really want to make sure? If you've got 2 days to live, my dear, you're going to have to move fast. I don't think Mamila can get there in time. Oh boy. But if she could, what do I want her to pass on? Well, gills for sure. I would definitely want her to have a guild child, which it looks like she possibly would. And I would really be hoping more for the fishing tail than anything else. So I think I'm going to put fishing tail or claw. Yeah, I think I'm going to put claw and fishing tail in. So that hopefully upon like conception of the next baby, that's when the mutations will kick in. So I want to put in the claw and I want to put in the fishing tail. There it is. All right. And hopefully, in fact, I think I want fishing tail more than claw. And now he is going to breed with her. And she is going to scooch over here, over here. Oh, I'm really pushing it. I don't know if she's going to make it. Can you help out, llama? All right, you gather those. Yes! All right, she just made it because llama scooched over enough that Mamila can come over here and have her baby. And then I need to get Kukima. Actually, I need to get him back across the river because he's got to be over here to have babies. So there we go. Phew. And then let's check on... Oh, this is so depressing. It's an abyss, a dark sea abyss of death. I just had like that one fish left. There we go. And then Kiranu apparently has a leech, even though he doesn't. So I'm going to have to get him out of the deep water. And he can go back and try to gather up some fish. Or he can go back and he can try to breed and pass on his genetics. Do you have any immunities? F and A are getting way too common. I should have been paying more attention to the immunities. But because they don't really, like, it's important. But they don't get too terribly sick right now. I don't pay as much attention to it as I probably should. Alright, since your creatures, I haven't had a lot of my creatures get sick for a long time. So that's what I mean. I've just kind of gotten a little bit lazy at actually worrying about that. Alright, let's come down here and we'll start moving along the riverside, maybe doing some exploring. Our hedgehogs are on the move, slowly but surely headed up north. And then I've got 1, 2, 3, 4 pregnant females, but only 2 of them on the nest right now. Alright, and meanwhile I just have a happy little hedgehog with Sikora here. She's just going to be clearing away the grass. She's going to be gathering up some of those berries to eat. And speaking of gathering up things to eat, let me go ahead and I'm going to kick this tree and gather up the nuts that fall down. And then I'm also going to send little Mirami, now that she's old enough, she's going to start heading for the waterfall nest. I think that'll just be instinct for my underwater breathers. They'll just be instinctually drawn towards the waterfall nest and not really think too hard about it. Alright, and little Lalila can actually help out with gathering up berries. She's really good at collecting too. So I wonder if Lalila might end up becoming a forest creature like her cousin is over here, because oh my gosh, Daida, our dark forest pandas, man, they're amazing. Alright, we'll go ahead and do a little bit of clearing of the grass here. Rasimi is taking her new position as one of the defenders of the tribe very seriously. So she's going to be clearing away as much of the grass as she can. She'll probably come back and clear this away too. Kind of dangerous to have the carnivore spawning grass literally right next to a nest full of innocent babies. Not a good thing. Alright, so we have 2 babies about to be born, one to Mimila and then one to our current seer of the tide pools. And we also have a Crabbit facing off against Izana right here. So let's go ahead and see what kind of babies we're going to have this time. Oh! Apparently really delicious babies, because a bird has just shown up to seek them out and eat them. Also, I just realized we haven't really seen any Dodongo for a while now, have we? Alright, so we have a little boy. Van Duke has been born, and ironically, he doesn't have gills. Why? I was really hoping he would have gills. He has fishing tail secondary, and he did not pass on the D immunity gene that I needed. But he has normal eyesight, he has normal blood clotting, he has cracking ability, and he has strength and collecting. But he's not really much, even though he has like the froggy webbed hind legs, he's not really much of a swimmer. And he's not even really much of a fisher. So he may end up going to join the forest side of the family. Alright, and then we're going to send Kukima down here. And yeah, there's not enough time. Kukima is just going to have to come over and very sadly and somewhat desperately take over watching the baby at the waterfall nest, because both these females are about to pass away of old age. So Llama, thank you so much for all of the searching of the streams that you did your whole life. I am going to miss you, my dear. And then Mamila, I'm so glad you got to search and explore around the quiet little peaceful brook over here for so long, which we're finally fully exploring, which actually feels kind of nice to be able to, ooh, I can destroy that? What happens if I do nuclear? Ah, he got hurt. But we got a whole bunch of food from a cactus. I've never done that before. Ouch. Oh my gosh, and Bandanku. He tried to heal nuclear, and I didn't realize even just like licking each other to try to heal a cut when you are a spiky hedgehog will actually cause a bit of damage. So let's come down here. And then Simi is going to be able to move over, kick this. Ooh, there's some nuts in the water now. And they can gather up some nuts by this tree. They're just kind of having a nice peaceful time. And these 2 old ladies are imparting whatever childcare they can, like childcare knowledge to Kukima that they can. And then, oh yeah, and we had our other baby, Rira. Rira, you are an interesting one. She can move really far and she has a lean body, but that's so odd. A and G immunity. How on earth? She doesn't. It's because her legs are so fast. So Rira, you're another beloved dud. You're not able to do much. So your mom is going to sit there and protect you. And then let's see. I'm gonna have Isana. It's looking more and more like Isana, even though she has ram horns and not antlers, is probably going to become the next heiress just by sake of being the only one with cracking ability, no pattern, white fur, and red horns of some kind. And then we're gonna have Corey gather this up, and then Corey can slowly but surely scooch her way up to protect all the babies. And we'll gather up a little bit more food. Aha, bunny. Gotcha. All right. Yeah, that bird thinks it's gonna be able to get our babies, but we're pretty good at protecting them. And let's see. Mito! I was just talking about how nobody had gotten sick. Mito, I'm not ready. You're one of my few antlered creatures left. I didn't want you to die, Mito. And we're starting to get very female heavy again. Anna, I think I may need you to come down here and breed with Rovanta. Yeah, we're getting a little bit heavy on our females again, which is not a good thing. So I'm going to send Anna down. And Rovanta is going to pass on his genetics once more. And then Daida will come, and Mito's about to pass away, so don't move, Daida. I didn't want to click that spot. Ah, Daida, dang it. I didn't mean to move her, but unfortunately I did. We'll have Dado stay over there, but Ravanta can come over here and kind of protect the little baby. All right, there we go. Oh, look at that dark panda. She is just so cool looking. Mito, I didn't want to lose you, my dear. Darn. So yeah, she is unfortunately going to be passing away. And yes, we have Immunity D and Leela here. And she does have the ability to collect lots of berries, move pretty quickly, and gather up nuts. So she'll come over here. And then Rasimi will do more exploring. Was that rustling? I'm suspicious. Suspicious rustling. And then Lamila does not have cracking ability, but we'll keep the sears going. Yeah, this was a bit of a dud. Well, oh, huh. Nukuvan? Where's the, nope, the bird's too close. I was gonna have Isla. Well, should I risk it? Okay, and then back over to the nest. Huh, there we go. All right, we managed it. I was worried the bird was going to get the baby, and then I was really sad because I was thinking, well, actually, you know, Rira doesn't have the best stats, so even if we lost her, it wouldn't be the end of the world. But Isila just mated with Nukuvan because he does have the cracker jaw and a whole bunch of other abilities. So we'll see what kind of baby he produces. But yeah, now that I'm looking around, we're actually getting very low on our males. We have one newborn male and one kind of older male, but then it hit me, the only other males we have, if we run out of the ones that I just pointed out, is this guy right here. I don't know if we want to pin the entire fate of the Jannu tribe on Roku's little shoulders. I'm not sure if that's something we want to do. All right, well, now I'm going to scooch him over here, and his mom can come on over too. I'm gonna have Rarari scooch into the nest, and she's gonna have her baby now too, and continue to carry on our little outcast lost tribe back there. So I think that covers just about everybody. My gosh, we've got a big sprawling family, and we're about to have a whole bunch of them age out though. And then we just have a quiet little peaceful Sakura clearing away her itty-bitty little patch in the forest, and hopefully we can eventually find another nest back here so that my prickly little moles can have a fun little nest too. So whew, alright guys, next time we are going to have quite a few interesting births. We're going to be keeping an eye on that nasty bird. Hopefully it won't snatch any of our children. We'll have to see what the seers of the tide pools end up doing. I don't really think there's anybody I feel 100% content with inheriting the position just yet, and I definitely want to see what's going to happen with our dark forest panda line, because this is one of the most beautiful children I think we have ever had. And we've got a very genetically diverse tribe, even when I'm trying to breed for specific traits lately too, so it's pretty fun. But alright, I'll see you guys next time. Bye-bye!